Good morning, children. How are you? You are fine, yes? Very good. Today also we are going to study nervous system, second part, okay? Nervous system, second part. What is nervous system? That before they also studied. Nerves going from one part to other, from the brain to all part. Brain only controlling all nerves. Nervous system is made up of nervous tissues. Okay? Now, human nervous system. That means ours. Yes? Our nervous system we are going to study. Okay? Yes. Human nervous system is differentiated into central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and autonomic nervous system. That like 3 nervous systems are there. Central nervous system, that is CNS, peripheral nervous system, that is PNS, and autonomic nervous system, that is ANS. So 3 system dividing 3. Nervous system divided 3. Okay? The complexity of nervous system can be observed during course of evolution. The human beings differ from one animal in our ability to think and take action, which is due to the well-developed nervous system. Human being nervous system is well-developed nervous system. So only we are thinking, we are take actions also. Yes. So our nervous system is well-developed nervous system. Our nervous system is well-developed nervous system. First nervous system, that is central nervous system, that is CNS. CNS acts as center for information processing and control. CNS, central nervous system, as a center for information, is a center for information. It acts as a center for information processing and control. CNS, that is information processing and control. It consists of brain and spinal cord. Next one, the PNS, peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is made up of the nerves which connect the brain and the spinal cord. PNS is made up of the nerves which connect the brain and spinal cord. The PNS connecting brain and spinal cord. Okay? The PNS is made up of nerves which connect the brains and spinal cord to all part of the body. Next, the ANS. What is ANS? Autonomic nervous system. ANS, autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is formed of sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. Sympathetic nerves also, parasympathetic nerves also. 2 opposite type of nerves. Sympathetic nerves and parasympathetic nerves. Okay? Now we are going to study the central nervous system. CNS. Everybody see the picture. Everybody saw? Everybody see? Yes. Cerebrum. See the picture parts? Skull bone, subarachnoid space, cerebrospinal fluid, cerebellum, spinal cord, subarachnoid space, subarachnoid space of spinal cord. Another separate one given, that is the layer of the brain. Layer of the brain. Dura mater, arachnoid mater, pyomater. Dura mater, arachnoid mater, pyomater. Yes. Now we will see the central nervous system. The brain and the spinal cord, being delicate vital structure, are well protected in bony cavities of the skull. That everybody know. Our skull inside only brain. The brain covered, protected by the skull and the vertebral column. Skull and the vertebral column. CNS is formed two types of matter, such as white matter and grey matter. White matter or grey matter. With respect to the presence or absence of myelin sheath, which we have discussed earlier, not now. Some already we studied last before day. Myelin sheath. Some neurons have myelin sheath, some neurons have no myelin sheath. Presence or absence of myelin sheath. That only white matter or grey matter. That we will study next, not nowadays, next class. Okay? Now, meninges of brain. Meninges of brain. The brain is controlling center of all the body activities. That we know. Yes, brain is the controlling center of all the body activities. Brain is the controlling center of the all body activities. It is covered by three connective tissue membrane or meninges. That means three layer. The three layers are there. The brain covered by three layers. One is dura mater, arachnoid membrane, pyomater. Dura mater, arachnoid mater, pyomater. Three layer. The dura mater means tough membrane. Tough membrane, that is outermost thick fibrous membrane. Outermost thick fibrous membrane is dura mater. That is a thick outermost layer. That is called dura mater. Arachnoid membrane, that is, arachnoid means spider. Arachnoid means what? Spider. Arachnoid membrane is the middle thin vascular membrane providing web-like cushion. See the picture everybody. Now everybody see the picture. The outermost layer, that is a dura mater. Dura mater. Center, that is arachnoid matter. That is only soft web-like cushion. Vascular membrane providing web-like cushion. That is a arachnoid membrane. That is a middle thin vascular membrane. Middle thin vascular membrane is called arachnoid membrane. Okay. Next, pyometer. Pyo means soft or tender. Soft. Bio means soft. It is the innermost thin delicate membrane. Innermost thin delicate membrane richly supplied with blood. The biometer richly supplied with blood. Richly supplied with blood. That means the meninges, that is a 3 layers. Meninges of brain, that is 3 layers. Durameter is the outermost layer. Arachnoid is the middle layer. Diameter is the pyometer is that inner layer. Okay. Meningeal membranes protect the brain from the mechanical injury. Sometime any hurt, sometime falling down, sometime any problem coming, that injury, mechanical injury coming in the head means the membranes only protecting, skull protecting, next 3 layers of membranes are protecting the brain. Okay, protect the brain from the mechanical injury. Next, we have to see the structure of brain. Structure of brain. Okay, everybody see this picture? Everybody see the picture? Can you see? Yes. See the picture. First you see the picture part. Structure of human brain. Frontal lobe. Corpus callosum. Corpus callosum. Cerebral cortex. Central sulcus. Parietal lobe. Parieto-occipital sulcus. Occipital lobe. Occipital lobe. Frontal lobe, occipital lobe. Pineal gland. Cerebellum. Fourth ventricle. Pons. Medulla. Spinal cord. Hypothalamus. Pituitary gland. Thalamus. Intercalmaric adhesion. These are the parts of the brain, human brain. Now we have to see the structure. We have to see the structure. The human brain is formed of 3 main parts. 3 main parts. One is forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. First one is forebrain, second one is midbrain, third one is hindbrain. Okay. Forebrain is formed of cerebrum and dienosephalon. Cerebrum or and dienosephalon, that is forebrain. The latter consists of dorsal thalamus and ventral hypothalamus. Dorsal thalamus and ventral hypothalamus. These all are forebrains. Now we have to see the cerebrum. It is the largest portion, forming nearly 2/3 of the brain. Largest portion. See the picture, everybody. The up full covered, that full folded face. Folded. That is the cerebrum. That means nearly 2/3 of brain. 2/3 of brain. The cerebrum is longitudinally divided into 2 halves. One is right cerebral hemisphere and another one is left cerebral hemisphere. Right cerebral hemisphere, left cerebral hemisphere. That like dividing 2. After the cerebral hemispheres by a deep cleft called median cleft. One inside the deep cleft is there. That deep cleft of cerebral hemisphere is called median cleft. Median cleft. Two cerebral hemispheres are interconnected by thick band of nerve fibers called corpus callosum. Right cerebral hemisphere, left cerebral hemisphere, in between one thick band of nerve fiber is there. That nerve fiber connecting two cerebral hemispheres. That is called corpus callosum. What is corpus callosum? Two cerebral hemispheres are interconnected with thick band of nerve fibers called corpus callosum. The outer portion of each cerebral hemisphere is formed gray matter and is called cerebral cortex. The outermost part of the cerebrum, that is called cerebral cortex. The inner or deep part is formed the white matter, that is called cerebral medulla. Cerebral medulla. Outermost place, that is cerebral cortex. Inner part, that is cerebral medulla. Outermost, that is gray matter. Inner, that is white matter. Outer cerebral cortex, that is a gray matter. Inner, that is cerebral medulla, that is white matter. White matter. Okay. The cortex is extremely folded. See the picture. The upper part folded. Yes, that is extremely folded. That is called gyri. Which depression between them termed as sulci, that increase its surface area. Some place more folding, some place less. So gyri, sulci, gyri and sulci. Okay. Each cerebral hemisphere is divisible into a frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe and occipital lobe. How many lobes are there? Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, occipital lobe. These four lobes are together make a cerebral hemisphere. Cerebral hemisphere already divided two. One is left cerebral hemisphere, another one is right cerebral hemisphere. Each cerebral hemisphere divisible into frontal lobe, parietal lobe, a temporal lobe and an occipital lobe. These lobes are also known as cerebral lobes. Cerebral lobes. These all lobes are called cerebral lobes and are associated with specific function. Any damage in specific lobe in turn affect its function. In turn, any damage in specific lobe in turn affects its function. The function will affect. Any damage in the, so some head injury coming means that affecting the brain, so that is very danger, affects its function. All function will affect. So that is very dangerous one. The cerebrum is responsible for the thinking. What are the responsible? What are the work going on? What are the work is there? Cerebrum is responsible for the thinking, intelligence, consciousness, memory, imagination, reasoning and willpower. Cerebrum is responsible for the thinking, intelligence, consciousness, memory, imagination, reasoning and willpower. These are the work going in the cerebrum. Okay, very important. Cerebrum is the largest portion. Cerebrum is the largest portion in this brain, that is nearly 2/3 of brain. 2/3 of brain, that more work going on. Thinking, intelligence, consciousness, memory, imagination, reasoning and willpower. Okay, next one we are going to see the thalamus. Everybody see the picture thalamus. Where is thalamus? Where is thalamus? See the picture. Yes, thalamus is a oval shape cerebral medulla. Is present in cerebral medulla. Is a major conducting center. It is a conducting center for sensory and motor signaling. It acts as relay center. It acts as relay center. It acts as relay center. Relay center. Thalamus acts as a relay center. Thalamus acts as a relay center. Okay, thalamus acts as a relay center. Thalamus present in the cerebral medulla is a major conducting center for sensory and motor signaling. Sensory and motor signals. It acts as a relay center. It acts as a relay center. Okay. Next, you see the picture hypothalamus. Where is hypothalamus? Hypothalamus. Where is hypothalamus? See the picture? Yes. That thalamus around that place is a hypothalamus. It lies at the base of the thalamus. It lies at the base of the thalamus. It controls involuntary function like hunger, thirst, sleep, sweating, sexual desire, anger, fear, water balance, blood pressure, etc. These involuntary functions, all involuntary functions controlled by thalamus. All involuntary functions controlled by thalamus. So, hypothalamus lies at the base of the thalamus. It controls involuntary function like hunger, thirst, sleep, sweating, sexual desire, anger, fear, water balance, blood pressure, etc. It acts as thermoregulatory. That means temperature control. Thermo means temperature. Control the temperature. That means it is called thermoregulatory center. Thalamus is a relay center. Hypothalamus is a thermoregulatory center. It acts as a thermoregulatory center. It controls the secretion of hormones from anterior pituitary gland and is an important link between the nervous system and the endocrine system. Here only pituitary gland is there. Yes, pituitary gland is near the hypothalamus. That one giving the pituitary hormones, the important link between nervous system and endocrine system. Endocrine system and nervous system link. The important link between nervous system and endocrine system. Next one, midbrain. See the picture, everybody. Midbrain. That means it is located between the thalamus and hindbrain. Thalamus is up. You see the picture thalamus? Yes. Hindbrain. See the picture hindbrain? Yes. In between that place. That is a midbrain. Dorsal portion of midbrain consists of 4 rounded bodies called corpora quadrigemina. 4 rounded bodies are there. That is corpora quadrigemina that control visual and auditory. That means hearing reflexes. Okay, auditory, hearing. Visual, we can see that visual and auditory control. Corpora quadrigemina control the visual and auditory reflexes. Okay. Next one, hindbrain. It is formed 3 parts: cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum, bones, medulla oblongata. Cerebellum, bones. See the picture, cerebellum? Cerebellum. Yes? Yes, the cerebellum. You can see cerebellum? Yes, cerebellum is there. The cerebellum, bones. Where is bones? Bones. Yes, bones is there. See the picture, everybody? Bones. Bones. And medulla oblongata. Next, medulla. Bones, medulla oblongata, and cerebellum. These are the hindbrain. Hindbrain. Cerebellum, it is the second largest part of the brain, formed two large size hemisphere and middle vermis. It coordinates voluntary movement and also maintains body balance. Maintain the body balance. Coordinate voluntary movements. It coordinate. Cerebellum coordinate voluntary movements and also maintain body balance. Body balance. Two important work. It coordinate voluntary movements and also maintain body balance. Okay. Next one, pons. Pons. A Latin word meaning bridge. Pons means what? Bridge. Bridge. It is a bridge of nerve fiber that connect the lobes of cerebellum. Already we studied cerebrum lobes. Yes, cerebrum lobes, frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe. That like some lobes studied, that is cerebrum lobes. Now cerebellum lobes connect nerve fibers that connect the lobes of cerebellum. Cerebellum also have lobes. The cerebellum lobes connect the nerves. So it is a bridge. Pone is a bridge. It relays signal between the cerebellum, spinal cord, midbrain, cerebrum. These all are relay signals. It relays signals between the cerebellum, spinal cord, midbrain and cerebrum. It controls respiration and sleep cycle. Very important, yes. It is respiration, controlling respiration and sleep cycle also. Controlling sleep cycle, controlling respiration. So, very important one. So, respiration control and sleep cycle control. Okay. Next one, medulla oblongata. See the picture, medulla oblongata. Yes, medulla oblongata is there. That medulla oblongata is the posterior most part of the brain that connect the spinal cord. That is the posterior one. Posterior most part of the brain that connect the spinal cord and various part of the brain. Various part of the brain. It has cardiac center, respiratory center, vasomotor center to control heartbeat, respiration, contraction of blood vessels. These all many works are there. Yes. See, it is a cardiac center, respiratory center, vasomotor center to control heartbeat, respiration and contraction of blood vessels. Okay, these more work going on. It also regulate vomiting and salivation. Vomiting and salivation also controlling this one. Okay, medulla oblongata regulate vomiting and salivation. Vomiting and salivation. Okay, have you understood? Yes, forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Forebrain have cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus. Next one, midbrain, that corpora quadrigemina is there. Hindbrain, that is divided three: cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. Have you understand, children? Next, we have to study overview of brain functions. Structure and functions. Overview of brain functions. First one, cerebral cortex. Cerebrum given here. Cerebrum control through processes intelligence, memory, sensation, complex motor function. Already we studied in between, yes. Cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus, midbrain, hindbrain, cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. The functions also giving here separated we will have to study. Control, cerebrum function is control thought processes, intelligence, memory, sensations and complex motor functions. Next one, diencephalon. Diencephalon means thalamus, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. Thalamus, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. These three, okay, that is a diencephalon. Relays and processes sensory information, control of emotion, autonomic functions, hormone production. These are the functions of thalamus, hypothalamus, pituitary glands. Okay, next one, midbrain. Midbrain processes auditory and visual data and generate involuntary motor responses. It is auditory and visual. It is a response of midbrain. Next one, hindbrain, that is cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. First, pons, a tract and relay center which also assist in somatic and visceral motor control. Next one, cerebellum. What are the function of cerebellum? Responsible for voluntary and involuntary motor activities based on memory and sensory input. Voluntary and involuntary motor activities based on memory and sensory input. Okay, sensory and memory input. Next one, medulla oblongata relays sensory information to rest of brain, regulates autonomic function including heart rate and respiration. Okay, have you understood children? Yes. Now we have to study cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. Yes, cerebrospinal fluid. The brain is suspended in a special fluid environment called cerebrospinal fluid. What is cerebrospinal fluid? The brain is suspended in a special fluid environment. Okay, that is a CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. CSF. It is limb-like watery fluid that surrounds and protects the brain within the skull. It is also fills the central canal of spinal cord. Okay. After the cerebrospinal fluid have more functions. It acts as shock absorbing fluid and protects the brain from damage when it is subjected in sudden jerk. Sometimes some damage, some problem, some accident. That time it acts as a absorbing fluids, protect the brain from the damage. Okay. Next, second point, it supplies nutrient to the brain. It is supplying nutrient to the brain. It collects and removes waste from the brain. Collect and removes waste from the brain. Some waste collecting and removing. Okay. It is also responsible for maintaining a constant pressure inside the cranium. It is also responsible for maintaining constant pressure inside the cranium. Constant pressure inside the cranium. This one maintaining the constant pressure. Constant pressure, cerebrospinal fluid responds the maintaining the constant pressure inside the cranium. Okay, cerebrospinal fluid finish. Next we have to see the reflex action. Reflex action. What is reflex action? What is reflex? A reflex is any response that occurs automatically without consciousness. Anichai செயல், that is what? Anichai செயல், that means our conscious not working, without unconsciousness. The reflex is response to occur the automatically that one hand, otherwise eyes are closing, hands automatically coming fast, that like it is a reflex action. What is reflex action? Reflex action is any response that occurs automatically without consciousness. Okay, without consciousness. There are two types of reflexes. One is simple, that is simple or basic reflexes. Another one is acquired or conditioned reflex. Acquired or conditioned reflex. Okay, first one, simple or basic reflexes. What is a simple basic reflexes? These reflexes are inbuilt and unlearned responses. Many of the actions we perform in our day-to-day life are simple reflexes. Example, winking of eyes. Winking of eyes when any dust particle enter. Yes, some dust particle coming time, your eyes automatically closing. Yes, sneezing, coughing, yawning, these are the simple basic reflexes. We perform this action without thinking. We perform this action without thinking, without consciousness. Okay, this is a simple or basic reflexes. Okay, simple or basic reflexes understood? Yes. Next, acquired or conditioned reflexes. Acquired or conditioned reflex. These reflexes are result of practice and learning. Playing important, that means playing harmonium by sticking a particular key on seeing a music note is an example of conditioned reflex. Playing harmonium by sticking a particular key on seeing the music note is an example of conditioned reflexes, which require conscious training effort. Can you think of some more example of conditional reflex? You can say yes. Anyone? You can say? Can you say? How? Here one example given, that is playing harmonium by sticking a particular key on seeing a music note. When we are seeing the music note, that time your hand sticking the particular key, automatically that is coming. Yes. Musician, no. Yes, you know music, keyboard Anything you know? Harmonium. Yes, that children know properly. That like some example you find it. Okay. Most of the reflex action are monitored and controlled by spinal cord, hence is also called spinal reflexes. Spinal reflexes. Spinal reflexes. Next one, we have to see the reflex action and its pathway. Reflex action and its pathway. Reflex action and its pathway. Everybody see the picture. See the picture. Reflex action and its pathway. See the picture. The pathway taken nerve impulse to the accomplished reflex action is called reflex arc. Now let us understand how the body execute reflex action when we touch a hard plate. Hard plate. You are touching the hard plate. Your heart means your hand suddenly coming back. Yes? Yes or no? You are touching, easily touching and keeping. No. Your very hard pan means you touch and fastly coming back, suddenly coming back. When we touch a very hot pan, the stimulus is heat, which is sensed by receptor called heat receptors or thermoreceptors in our hand. This stimulus in turn triggers and impulse in sensory neuron. Impulse the sensory neuron. That after the sensory neuron transmits or conveys the message to the spinal cord. The hand only touching the heat, that time the sensory neurons giving the message to the spinal cord. Spinal cord, you know the spinal cord. The message given to the spinal cord interpret the stimulus and impulse passed on the relay neuron, which in turn transmit to it and motor neuron. Next, that order given to the motor neuron. The spinal cord give an order to the motor neuron. Motor neuron means arm, our hand. Yes, leg, hand, these are motor neurons. Touching the hand that have very heat. So, the nerves give the information to the spinal cord. The spinal cord give the order to the motor neurons. The motor neurons that have muscles, yes, our hand muscle in our arm contract and we withdraw our hand immediately from the pan. That is a reflex action and its pathway. Okay. In this example, muscle is an effector organ. In our hand, muscles are effector organs which has responded to the heat. You will study the higher classes how the neuronal impulse triggers and muscular movement. We have to study higher classes. Okay? Okay, children? Reflex action, everybody understood? Simple, basic reflexes, acquired or conditioned reflexes. That two types. After, how to see the path taken by the nerve impulse. Okay, reflex action and its pathway, that also we studied. Okay, next we have to study. Next we have to see the picture of reflex action and its pathway. Reflex action and pathway. Heat, that pan is very heat. Receptor in the skin. That after that nerves give the message to the spinal cord. See the picture? Sensory neuron going there. Spinal cord is there. That message given to the motor neuron. That motor neuron, the muscles, effector muscles in the arm. That fast, very fast coming back. Immediately withdraw the hand. Okay. This is a reflex action and its pathway. Okay. Next we have to see peripheral nervous system. PNS. PNS. Peripheral nervous system is formed by nerves arising from the brain and the spinal cord. Nerves arising from the brain and the spinal cord. The nerves arising from the brain are called cranial nerves. Nerves arising from the spinal cord, that is spinal nerves. That like peripheral nervous system dividing two: cranial nerves, spinal nerves. Nerves arise from the brain, that is cranial nerves. Nerves arising from the spinal cord, that is spinal nerves. Cranial nerves, spinal nerves. Cranial nerves, spinal nerves. What is cranial nerves? What is cranial nerves? Nerves arising from the brain are called cranial nerves. What is spinal nerves? Nerves arising from the spinal cord are spinal nerves. Okay? Now, cranial nerves in man or the human being, there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. How many pairs of cranial nerves are there? 12 pairs of cranial nerves are present in human being. Some of cranial nerves are sensory. Some are sensory. Example, optic nerve, which innervates the eye. Optic nerve innervates the eye. Some are motor nerves, which help in the rotation of eyeball. Rotation of eyeball. One optic nerve innervates the eye. Innervate the eye. Optic nerve. Okay. Next one, motor nerve. Motor nerve which help in rotation of eyeball. That means here two nerves are there. Optic nerve, motor nerves. Motor nerves innervate the eye. Motor nerves which help the rotation of eyeball. It also innervates the eye muscles. Muscles of iris, tear gland. These all work going in the cranial nerves. Okay? Cranial nerves, 12 pairs of cranial nerves are there. Some cranial nerves are sensory. That example is optic nerve, which innervate the eye. Some are motor nerves that help in the rotation of ball. It also innervates the eye muscle, muscles of iris and tear glands. Okay. Next, spinal nerves, cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves means that is nerves arising from the brain. Spinal nerves means nerves arising from the spinal cord. Arising from the spinal cord. Spinal nerves, there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. 31 pairs. There 12 pairs. Here 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Each spinal nerve has dorsal sensory root and the ventral motor root. Dorsal sensory root and ventral motor root. The direction of impulses in dorsal spinal root is towards the spinal cord and ventral spinal root away from the spinal cord. One nerve going to the spinal cord, another one going away to the spinal cord. Spinal cord. Okay, ventral and dorsal. Dorsal spinal root is towards the spinal cord. Ventral spinal root is away from the spinal cord. Have you understand? Direction of impulses, dorsal spinal root and ventral spinal root. Dorsal spinal root towards the spinal cord, ventral spinal root that is away from the spinal cord. Okay? Have you understand? Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system also two type. One is cranial nerves and another one is spinal nerves. Spinal nerves. Okay, children? Next, we have to study autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system, that is ANS. ANS. is also called visceral nervous system, as it regulates the function of internal visceral organs of our body. Internal visceral organ of our body through its two antagonistic, that means opposite. One is sympathetic, opposite, that is parasympathetic. Sympathetic, parasympathetic. Here also two type. Yes, autonomic nervous system also two antagonistic. One is sympathetic, another one is parasympathetic. Sympathetic system, parasympathetic system. They enable the body to perform rapid specific visceral activities in order to maintain ready state. It controls the involuntary functions of visceral organs. It controls involuntary functions. Involuntary functions means inner part, the heart doing the work, that is involuntary. Lungs doing work, that involuntary. That involuntary work, it controls involuntary function of visceral organs. Everybody now see the picture. Brain is there, spinal cord is there. Yes, every part connected to the spinal cord, every part connected to the brain and spinal cord. Yes, you can see. Yes, first one, eye, delayed pupil. Eye, that is a delayed pupil, that is a sympathetic. Constrict pupil, constrict, that is parasympathetic. Delayed pupil, that is sympathetic. Constrict, that is parasympathetic. Next one, pancreas, stimulate saliva, inhibit salivation. Stimulating and inhibiting. Saliva, stimulating, saliva inhibiting. Okay. Next one, heart, slow heartbeat, increase heartbeat. Parasympathetic, that is slow heartbeat. Sympathetic, that is increase heartbeat. Next one, lungs, constrict airways, relax airways. Constrict airways in parasympathetic, relax airway in sympathetic. Next one, stomach, stimulate activity of stomach is in the parasympathetic. Stimulate activity of stomach. Here, inhibit activity of stomach. Okay. Next one, parasympathetic, the liver, stimulate gallbladder. Next, inhibit gallbladder. Stimulate gallbladder is in the parasympathetic, inhibit gallbladder in the sympathetic. Next one, small intestine, stimulate activity of intestine is in the parasympathetic, inhibit activity of intestine, that is sympathetic. Next one, we have to see the bladder. Contract bladder is in the sympathetic. In parasympathetic, contract bladder is in the parasympathetic. Next, here not given. Yes, bladder not in the sympathetic. Next, here given kidneys secrete epinephrine and norepinephrine. Epinephrine and norepinephrine is in the sympathetic, not in the parasympathetic, only sympathetic. Okay. Next one, bladder, relaxed bladder, there is contract bladder. Relaxed bladder, contact bladder. Only kidney not is in the sympathetic. All other parts is here. Yes, have you understood this all? Differences between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic? Yes, one more time we'll say. Parasympathetic, caustic people, sympathetic, delayed people. Pancreas stimulates saliva, sympathetic inhibits saliva. Heart, slow heartbeat, increase heartbeat. Lungs, constrict airways, relax airways. Stimulate activity of stomach, inhibit activity of stomach. Stimulate gallbladder, inhibit gallbladder. Stimulate activity of intestine, inhibit activity of intestine. Contract bladder, relax bladder. Have you understand, children? Yes? Everybody understand? This lesson completed? Yes? Everybody study properly in this lesson. Nervous system, structure, everything you study. Draw the picture, draw and see what are the differences, how the spinal cord, that all you study properly. Okay, children? Everybody study. Next, I will give the homework. Listen, everybody listen carefully. Write 10 one-word answers. Today I taught this portion. You write 10 one-word answers. Okay? Write 10 one-word answers. Next, one assignment I will give. That is a structure of brain. Draw the structure and write about the structure. Okay? Draw and write about the structure of brain. First you draw the picture and write about the structure of the brain. Okay? Have you understand? Everybody submit your assignment also. You read the lesson, study the lesson properly. I will give the test also. Okay? Write the homework. Every day you write the homework in your homework note. Submit your homework also. Okay, children? Okay.